What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified of all the latest content as and when it drops on the channel, especially if you're new. And yeah, let's get into this one. So let's get into the main event of the Riyadh season, but Riyadh season in LA card. It is a stacked card. It's a good card. There's fights, definitely several fights I'm looking forward to on this card. But we're going to talk about the main event between champion Israil Madrimov and Terence Crawford. It feels weird saying Terence Crawford's name last there, but hey, it is what it is. Madrimov's the champion, 154 pounds. This is going to be the fourth weight that Terence Crawford is looking to conquer here. He's had belts at 135, 140, 147, and here we go. He's trying to conquer now 154. So, yeah, Crawford is great fighter, definitely one of my favorites. But I'll tell you something. Israil Madrimov is a serious fighter, and for me, Israil Madrimov in this fight is a serious threat. I mean, I haven't followed all of his career, to be fair. His career has been relatively short, but he's had a very long and extensive amateur career. His fights in the hundreds, and he's very experienced, and he's a young pro that is on a fast track, much like when Vasily Lomachenko turned over pro. He was on a fast track. He wanted a world title in like his first fight or something ridiculous. I mean, Madrimov's had 10, only 10. So it's funny because in boxing terms, when you've only had 10 fights, you're still like kind of a novice. You're still not that experienced, but he's the type of guy that he seems to be good enough to just be fast track, to miss all the little steps at the beginning and just go straight for the big boys. And he's done it successfully so far. To look at his style, it's very impressive. He's the type of fighter that I really like to watch fight. I mean, he's very entertaining. He's a very aggressive fighter. He likes to come forward, but he's also got very good movement. The footwork is fantastic. He moves around the ring very well, very smoothly. He's got a good variety of punches, and he can come at you from all different angles. Even after he throws a shot, he can step round and then get an angle for another shot. He's got very, very good variety of punches, and he's got all the attributes that you need to be a good boxer. He's a versatile sort of fighter, and everything. Although he is quite an aggressive guy, he's also quite versatile. He also has that ability to move around and to find his he's a very skilled fighter. He may have only had 10 fights, but he's very, very good. He's an exceptional talent, is Madrimov. And we're still, he's one of those fighters that it will probably take us a few more years to see exactly how good he is. And this fight will go a long way towards doing that, because we've got Terence Crawford at the tail end of his career, but still undefeated. His last fight was against Errol Spence Jr. He absolutely demolished, absolutely destroyed Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. stood absolutely no chance in that fight. He just made Errol Spence look silly, made him look easy, made him look like he didn't know what he was doing or where he was. So he's coming off of that very impressive performance. The only thing, I suppose two things going against Terence Crawford could be, number one, the weight in this fight. This is his first time stepping up into this weight. But he said in the build-up to this fight that he's been finding it hard to make 147. He said even when he fought Errol Spence Jr. that he thinks Spence made the weight easier than him. I would have thought it's the other way around. I thought Spence looked bigger, but Crawford says different. That could be one thing going against him. It's the first time this way. But then secondly, I think the inactivity, the fact that he's not fought in a year, I think it would have been nice. It would have been better for him to have sort of fought somebody, at least in the interim leading up to this fight. I thought that would have been nice. But I suppose it's not for lack of trying, because he did try to fight the taller champion, he did try to fight, I think, Tim Tszyu, and then he lost, and the whole thing's been a bit of a mess for him. He has been sort of seeking a fight, but unfortunately for him, he hasn't had one. And I think that's one thing that might be going against him. But at the same time, knowing Terence Crawford, he's been in a gym, he's been in shape, and he is that kind of special fighter that maybe they can. I suppose he only basically fights once a year anyway, so that might not hurt him. But yeah, so going into this, you've got two fighters that are both very good, both quite versatile. Crawford is, enough said about it. There's so much you can say. Freeweight world champion, undisputed at a couple of those weights, and he's just a very, very special talent. He can box southpaw, he can box orthodox, and he can do both very, very effectively. He's comfortable in both stances. Very, very effective switch hitter. He's a powerful puncher, and he can beat you on the front foot, coming after you, going to get you, as Teddy Atlas says, and he can also do it backing off of you and countering you and bringing you on to shots, and he can still take you out that way. And yeah, this is an excellent clash here, where you've got the younger guy Madrimov versus the guy that's still undefeated, but he's at the end of his career in Terence Crawford, but he's still looking relatively fresh, relatively still hungry for the victory, and he still has ambitions. He wants to be undisputed this way too. And I think of the two of them, for me, I'm backing Terence Bud Crawford to do this one. I think he's going to win this on points, and I mainly think that down to the fact that Israil Madrimov, I think he'll kind of, as good as he is, as he's quite versatile fighter and everything, but I think he's one of those guys that likes to fight on the front foot, and I think guys that tend to fight on the front foot are sort of perfect for Terence Crawford. I think he prefers that than having to chase you or chase the fight. I think Terence Crawford will enjoy the fact that Madrimov will come after him, will come to get him, will come to sort of hunt him down. He won't do that in a crude way. He'll do it in his own way, quite skillfully, and he throws he's got good angles and everything. But I just think that Terence Crawford is going to read Madrimov's patterns. He's going to download the data, as we like to say, and I think he's gonna suss him out by about the mid rounds, and I think Crawford's just going to have a sweep of the last round. I think it will be a tough fight. It will be a difficult fight because Madrimov is a guy that he can hit hard, and he's very fit. He's as I say, he's a very athletic guy. So I think he's technically very good as well. So I think he's going to give Terence Crawford quite a bit of trouble. He's going to give as good as he gets, but I think eventually Terence Crawford's just going to figure him out. Crawford might have a bit of a slow start in this fight, but I think eventually he's going to figure him out and break him down and sort of just take over this fight and win on points. That's my overall view on it. I think Terence Crawford, he's one edge he's got over Madrimov is that obviously multi-weight world champion, and he's got this masses of big fight experience. He's just got so much experience in the pro ranks against different styles. He's had to deal with adversity and stuff. He's had to deal with being down on the cards and coming back, and there's so much he's had to deal with, and he's been able to, there hasn't been a scenario that's been able to trip Terence Crawford up. And I just think he's just got that edge in experience. And I think although he's at the tail end of his career, he's still relatively fresh. He's still performing very well, like a much younger man than his years suggest. So for me, I just think Terence Crawford, with his greater experience, and the fact that Madrimov comes forward and will come forward looking for Terence Crawford, I think that's going to play into Terence Crawford's hand, and eventually Crawford's just going to be able to outbox and outpoint Madrimov in what probably will be a very difficult fight, but it will be, I think, an entertaining fight where we will see, we might even see someone hit the canvas. But for me, I just think Crawford just has that edge in experience, and it's been around a long time as a pro and hasn't put a foot wrong yet. So that's my pick. Let me know your pick in the comment section below, and until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.